What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, coming at you from the alpha for the War Within. Now in this one we're taking a look at blacksmithing as a profession, and covering blacksmithing, what's new with the profession, and just an overall guide, and showing you the specialization points we have, and what you can specialize into in blacksmithing in the War Within, and showing you the bonuses, talking more about blacksmithing in general, and as a gold farmer slash gold maker, I'll be tailoring this into gold making as well, crafting for gold making, and how to make gold with blacksmithing. I will also chime in with my opinions on what to spec into first as well. Now first of all, let's take a look at what's new in blacksmithing. There's a lot of the same stuff, some new things as well, but for the most part you're making alloys. So you have sanctified alloy, you have charged alloy, iron claw alloy, and core alloy. Now if you played Dragonflight, you know about the alloys and how they work. You can basically turn some of the mining materials into alloys and then make them into more rare alloy. As you can see, you can turn core alloy with iron claw ore into iron claw alloy. You also have the charged alloy, which is the core alloy with accurite in this case, and you can turn both of the different alloys into a sanctified alloy. Apart from that, you can make different types of armor pieces, you can make different types of weapons, and you can make different types of professional equipment. In addition, we have a couple of other items as well, like the repair hammer we have here, iron claw weapon stone. We also have a reinforced handle, the forged ray framework, and the earthen master's hammer. Now there are a couple of recipes that I haven't learned either, mainly the epic items in this case. So we have both armor and we have weapons, all of which are epic and bound on pickup. So they're not really relevant for gold making, but you could use them for crafting orders, for example, or make your own items. We also have the Arother armor patch right here, which is an optional crafting reagent, and impact seal, and we have a couple more items that I haven't learned just yet, including PvP items by the way, and something called a seasoned skillet, and just a couple of regular items as well, fishing lines, weighted lure, core forge skeleton key, and stuff like that. Now when you learn alchemy, and not alchemy, when you learn blacksmithing, you will start with way less items than what I personally have. That being said, a lot is taught to you by the trainer while you're skilling up, and you get a lot of new things while skilling up. It is always worthwhile focusing on the first craft bonus, so whenever you're crafting, focus on items that gives you first craft bonuses every single time, because that will give you something called an artisan's acuity, as we have right here, and it will also give you a specialization point that you can spend in different specializations. Now when it comes to blacksmithing, you will need to have a lot of specialization points in order to learn everything. Now for reference, I have learned every single thing myself so far, and it costs me 867 knowledge points. So if you want to have one character with blacksmithing and you want to max out everything, well, you need 867 knowledge points based on the state as of right now in the alpha. And the reasoning for that is that you have a lot of trees in armor smithing, for example. This tree alone is absolutely massive. You have a little bit of a big tree in weaponsmithing as well. You have the burning forge and the means of production. Now we're going to take a look at all of these, so let's go into the overview first and then go deep in. For the overview on weaponsmithing, this one is very simple. You specialize into crafting weapons of various types. For means of production, you have the overview right here, master the art of smithing profession equipment and consumable items. For the ever-burning forge, going through the overview, you can unlock the secrets of the ever-burning forge, significantly improving your blacksmithing capabilities while it's active. And then we have armor smithing. So you can either choose to go the armor smithing route, the weaponsmithing route, or you have a couple of general blacksmithing route, if that makes sense. Now this one, for example, you can make profession tools and consumables as well, and then you have the ever-burning forge, which is more of a general kind of specialization in blacksmithing. Now let's start with armor smithing. This one is absolutely massive when it comes to the talent points, or the specialization points I suppose, that you can go for. First of all, you will have to have this one, which is 30 points in total, giving you +1 skill point every single time. After you have maxed this one out, or you can also learn some sub-specializations while you're maxing it out. So every 10 talent, you will get 1 sub-spec. Now, once you get that, you can choose to either go into something called fine armor, or sculpted armor, or large plate armor. In large plate armor, you are focusing on chest and legs and shields. When it comes to the sculpted armor, you're focusing on head, shoulders, and feet. And when it comes to fine armor, you're focusing on waist, wrists, and hands, gaining plus skill when crafting those things, and teaching you different recipes. So for example, when you spec into here and then you'll spec into here, you will learn how to craft certain gauntlets right here, and you will also increase the functionality of your master's hammer, and you will basically learn how to make better gloves, higher quality gloves, and you will learn a recipe every single time. So if you're struggling on the artisan's acuity, for example, it could be worth it to go into armor smithing because you learn new recipes. Overall, you would learn 9 brand new recipes just from picking up the breastplate recipe, the shield recipe, the legs recipe. Then you have the helm, you have the shoulders, you have the boots, you have the gauntlets, vambraces, and also the belts. You would have 9 different recipes waiting for you when you max out this tree. That being said, you're spending a lot of knowledge points just to get 9 knowledge points back. But if you're really struggling on the artisan's acuity here, then this could be a good talent tree to go for. Alternatively, if you also want to focus on the armor smithing part of blacksmithing, this is the tree you have to go for. This is where you learn how to make the armor, and you also get more skill and giving you better quality items basically, and you can use finishing reagent while crafting those types of armor. So you can specialize deep into one, or you can go right here and then max this one out and learn 1 additional recipe. You don't have to max this one out to learn the recipe, but if you want to make the best belt you can, you want to max the belt out. Okay, that's a pretty decent overview of the armor smithing. Let's go to Ever-Burning Forge. For Ever-Burning Forge, the main talent tree, you will reduce the cooldown of your Ever-Burning Forge charges by 1% per point spent in the specialization, for a total of 40% all throughout. Now, in addition, you will learn how to use the Ever-Burning Forge at the start here, and not yet in the game, by the way, in the alpha, so I can't really test that out, but the Ever-Burning Forge, if you want to use that. And also, you can see throughout here, you will get some bonuses. The Ever-Burning Forge charges reset 25% faster, and they gain an extra charge of the Ever-Burning Forge. Here we go, 25% faster once again, 25% faster once again. Right here, 1 more charge of the forge itself, 1 more charge of the forge, 25% faster, and at the end, using a finishing reagent grants Ever-Burning attunement stacking up to 100 times. Upon reaching 100 stacks, you get a charge of Ever-Burning Forge. So if that becomes a good mechanic in the game, this is the talent or the specialization you want to go for, focusing on the Ever-Burning Forge mechanic. After that, you can also go into Gracious Forging right here, strengthen your bond to the forge, improving your ability to craft multiple items, gain +1 multicraft while using the Ever-Burning Forge per point spent in the specialization. Then you get +40 multicraft by learning this one as well, so you get +40 and then +1 for every single talent point spent, +5 multicraft bonus after spending 5 points, +10 bonus after spending 10 points, +20 bonus after spending 15 points, and when maxing it out you get another 40 multicraft. So if you want to have a chance to craft multiple items, this is definitely the place you want to be. After this, we also have the same thing, but for resourcefulness in this case. So this one gives you resourcefulness and gives you materials back while crafting, while using the Ever-Burning Forge. And it's the same bonuses over here as well, so the more points you put in, the more materials you save while you're crafting. After that, we have the concentration, even though it still says inspiration in this case, and it gives you more inspiration, even though I do think that will be changed to concentration. If you don't know it already, we have a brand new mechanic when it comes to crafting professions in the War Within, and that's called concentration. So instead of inspiration, even though right here we still have inspiration apparently, but concentration is a new thing that we have in the War Within, where you have 500 charges of concentration, and you can use those concentrations to craft items that you don't have the skill for. So for example, we have the Iron Claw gauntlets. This one has a recipe difficulty of 300. Now I only have 225 skill. That being said, I can use my concentration points to offset the skill balance here. So by using 4 concentration, I can guarantee that I get this this tier. So there we go, using concentrate, we guaranteed the skill point, and we're gonna keep making this, and we always guarantee the highest one, but as you can see, we're using 4 concentration every single time. Now, the higher the skill is, and the less skill you have, the more concentration you use. So for example here, Earthen Master's Hammer, I'm only using a tier 1 ingredient, and as you can see, there's 100 skills in between the difficulty and my skill. So in order for me to offset the balance between my skill and the skill required here, I need to spend 49 concentration. Now clicking on concentrate, we can use 49 concentration to still guarantee a tier 3 craft from this craft. So that's a little bit about how concentration works while you're crafting. Going back to the specialization points, once again you're focusing on the ever-burning forge here. We had multicraft, resourcefulness, and inspiration/concentration on the final tree. For means of production, the first talent point here, learning to craft something that is not yet in the beta, but we get +1 skill when crafting profession equipment and consumables. If you want to focus on profession equipment, which once again every single profession can use a tool and 2 accessories, some of which you can make through blacksmithing, and then some of them are BOE, and some of them are made through crafting orders, and the higher skill you can make, the higher of a tip you can take as well. So in this case, you would focus on crafting profession equipment, tools and accessories, and you would also focus on consumables that you can make through blacksmithing. Now after you have put some talent in here, you will learn subspecs at 10, 20 and 30 talents spent, or points spent. So you can either choose to specialize into oils and alloys, so you can get higher amounts of alloys and more higher ranks of alloys as well. So if you want to make more gold by making oils and alloys, this is definitely the talent to choose, in which case you will learn Ridderfire 2.0 recipe, get more skill and resourcefulness while crafting reagents, and the same thing over here as well, more resourcefulness giving you materials back, more skill, more multicraft, more skill and crafting speed, and 40 multicraft at the end. So you will just make more alloys and oils every single time, and you will also save materials while making them. When you go through this talent tree at both 10 and 20 points, you can learn another subspec. You can either focus on alloy or you can focus on oils, giving you more skill, and once again the same types of bonuses as well when you're learning here. So you have higher skill, and higher skill on oils right here, and you have on alloys in this one and oils in this one. So the first specializations is both oils and alloy, and then you can choose one or the other one, or you can farm points and choose both. Now on the other hand, you can also go for stonework. This one improves your ability to craft consumable stones, which temporarily enhances your weapons and profession tools, gaining +1 skill while you're crafting that type of equipment. Now over here you will get +5 skill and resourcefulness while crafting, and you can once again after 10 skills choosing a subspec, actually after 5 you can choose a subspec, and after 15 you can also choose a subspec, and you will get both multicraft and resourcefulness and skills throughout this whole tree. At the end you also learn Master's Arsenal recipe. Now after you have done this, you can also focus on either the stones, consumable stones, or you can focus on, well in this case it says weapon stones, so we have stones here, and we have tool enhancements over here. I do think the tooltips are a little bit bugged here, but we have tool enhancements right here, and weapon stones right here. You can also focus on profession equipment, gaining +1 skill while crafting profession equipment, and after doing that you can either go for profession tools or you can go for profession accessories. So once again you can focus on profession equipment as a whole for the first one, and then you have to choose either tools or accessories. Now for accessories, every profession can have 2 of them. For the tools, every profession can only have 1, but they are equally as important. Now, that's past that talent tree, we have another one to go through, and that is called weaponsmithing. This one, basically, you focus on crafting weapons. It's not really anything more than that, but you literally focus on crafting weapons, and you learn better weapons as you go through this. You get more skill, plus 1 skill per talent point spent for 30 skills in total, and you get some bonuses along the way. Now, after you have put in 10 points, you will unlock a sub-spec, and after 20 points, you will learn another sub-spec. At the end, you get plus 15 crafting speed, and you also get plus 5 skill right here. Now, after maxing this out, you can also choose between blades or hafted. Now, hafted, you focus on maces, axes, and pole arms, while on blades, you focus on weapons, like bladed weapons. So you have swords or tools, one-handed swords, so long blades, and short blades. So for short blades, we have daggers, we have knives, we have fist weapons, and for the long blades, we have swords and glaives. For here we have hafted, so we have maces, axes, and pole arms, and you can choose to specialize into both axes and pole arms in the same one, or maces in this one. So once again, it's really simple. You focus on crafting weapons in this case, and you learn how to craft better weapons, plus the epic recipes. So if you want to have access to those epic recipes, you have to go for this one, and then max this one out, or learn it right here. So you learn them pretty much all along the place and get more skill while crafting as well. Now, looking at, if you go down and look at some of the epics, the epic items, they require a lot of skill to make. So you want to really max out the specialization that you want to have to get more skill points. Once again, you get plus 30 skill by maxing this one out for weapon crafting. Then you can get another plus 25 by maxing this one out, and then you can get another plus 25. So literally just by doing this, without even looking at the bonuses, by the way, you get even more from the bonuses right here, but just from putting in talent points, excluding the bonuses, you would get 80, so 80 skill points just from the talent tree. So when it comes to crafting epics and getting the highest rank available from epics, you really want to max out that talent tree. As you can see, the max rank would be item level 597 as well, and I have used some of my concentration to kind of show you guys the differences between a high level and like a tier 4 and a tier 3. Now, a tier 4 would be 593 item level, and for main stats it's 1854. Now, a tier 3 would be 590 item level, only a 3 item difference, but it's 50 main stats less. So instead of getting 1854 agility, you get 1803. So those 3 item levels gives you 51 additional main stats and 11 additional small stats, or tertiary stats or secondary stats. So I would say that's pretty good. It's a pretty significant difference, and this is once again only tier 4. You have the ability to make tier 5 as well. So now that we have covered all of the sub-specializations and blacksmithing as a whole, let's talk about which talent tree you should go for. When it comes to armor smithing and weaponsmithing, both of them, you really rely on being able to craft the highest rank or the highest tier available of an epic item. You can make some gold by selling blues as well if you meet the highest quality. So for example, we have the Iron Claw Great Axe. And as you can see right here, we can craft this one as an example, and we can get the highest rank on that one and sell that one, even though it's BOP right now, so it's not even tradable. But some of the BOEs, like this one for example, 319 item level and requires level 61. I do think they're going to be a higher item level and require a higher level when the beta comes out instead of the alpha. But you can definitely sell some of those items and make a lot of gold that way. That being said, when you're focusing on these, when you're focusing on armor crafting or weapon crafting, you are focusing on epics. You want to get the epics as early as possible, and then take a high tip from people choosing to have you craft their epics. The epics are bound when picked up. Scrolling back up to the Everforged Defender, for example, it's bound when picked up, but you can put that up on a crafting order, so anyone who doesn't have blacksmithing can still get that made for them through crafting orders, in which case if you can guarantee the highest rank or the highest tier possible, you will get even more gold from those people looking to get their pre-bis crafted, maybe their total best in slot as well. So pay attention to best in slot lists for the War Within and the first raid tier, and focus on items, like when it comes to focusing on breastplates, shields, legs, whatever you want to focus on whatever is on the most amount of base lists out there. You will be focusing on plate and melee users mainly plate, so take a look at Death Knight, Warrior, Paladin, all of their best in slot lists, and see if there's any slot for crafted items there, and which crafted items sim the best. When it comes to weapons, you can also focus on weapons, even though I do think that will mainly be for either really early raiders looking to get the best weapons possible before the raid, or for alts. So weapons to me are a really solid choice if you want to go for weapons over armor, but the same thing applies. You want to focus on crafting orders and being able to guarantee tier 5 epic craft. If you can do that, that is absolutely great. When it comes to means of production, you can use this one to make both alloy and oils, and even weapon stones. And for me, this one is a little bit easier because you're not really relying on crafting orders. You can make alloys and sell them for profit on the auction house. Same thing goes for weapon stones as well, and the same thing goes for some of the tools and some of the accessories. Even though the rares and the epics, they are soul bound, so they would have to be on a crafting order basis. But to me, if I had to choose right now, I would probably, if I only had one blacksmith, I would go for means of production, because this one gives you a combination of both auction house gold and the crafting order gold. When it comes to both weaponsmithing and armor smithing, I would say 90% of the gold lies in crafting orders, while 10% could be auction house value as well. Now, Ever-Burning Forge is a really big question mark because we can't test it right now on the alpha, so this one I'm gonna have to get back on you with when the beta comes out. This one could be a hit or a miss, and it's really difficult to commentate on as it is right now. Either way, that's pretty much what I have for you when it comes to blacksmithing. It's looking like a really juicy profession. It's basically the same thing as it was in Dragonflight, but with different names. So the ores are different and everything is different, but everything is still the same. You're focusing on making epic weapons and focusing on crafting orders, but we do also have weapon stones that you can make and sell on the auction house, and once again you can focus on making, for example, alloys, and being able to guarantee a higher rank of alloy will make you more gold as well. So choosing the highest quality here and then using concentrate, for example, you can guarantee a rank 3 alloy, and rank 3 all alloys will be selling for more than rank 2, so going for that one could also be worth it for you as well. Either way, once again, that's pretty much what I have for you. So if you're going for, look, we just got 2 sanctified alloys as well. The multicraft bonus will definitely help you make gold while crafting alloys. So once again, there we go. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and let me know in the comments as well which professions you're going for. And if you're going blacksmithing, which specialization do you think will be the best for making gold in the War Within? I will also be updating Patreon when it comes to gold making, so if you want to have access to even more gold making methods in the War Within, check out my Patreon, the link is down below in the video description. I'll be making detailed posts about how I plan to make gold, and I'll be sharing the best gold farms as well before they go public. Now, in Dragonflight, we made about 60 million gold in the first 2 months of the expansion, and we're trying to emulate that process in the War Within as well, and as always I'll be keeping you guys informed on exactly what I'm doing, both through Discord and on Patreon and YouTube videos. The benefits here is that if you either are supporting me on Patreon or have my War Within gold making guide, you will have access to gold farms and gold making videos before they are public. So if you choose to support me that way, you can bet that I will do my best to help you make as much gold as possible, so check those out through the link down below in the video description or the pinned comment. And if you do, thank you so much for the support, it really means a lot to me, and that's once again what I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe for more videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.